So I wanted to make a video on the 2007 release build of Team Fortress 2. Great, I got the game and there's no servers. Fine, I'll play with bots and make that fun, and shit, that doesn't work either. Well, damn it, I'll make an entertaining video on everything but the fuck-off game for today's challenge. Alright, so the main menu is rather naked compared to today's standards. It just has cool music and artwork, and I don't know, I guess I can get behind that. Right, so you can still make your own servers, that's good enough, and there's only 7 maps. Wow, It is not a full game. No full game has 13 maps in it. That lad. Okay, let's check out the first map. Background 01 has no game mode. So when you first load in, you notice it's actually CP. I do not know why that is there, but what I do know is that at least for the Xbox 360 version, this map was used for the live background of the main menu. Exploring this map is pretty interesting because I can only assume it was a design mock-up for later maps. And maybe this compilation here helped the mappers with a sense of scale. Using NoClip to get up here reveals that half the rocket is actually skybox, which gives an interesting perspective distortion. Returning to the... Hang on. That does not quite sound like the Heavy. Excuse me for a second. That is so wrong on so many different levels. I have a feeling this map is going to be a bit more finished. Shut up, Gabe. So, this version of the map is actually the developer commentary version for whatever reason, but honestly, the developer commentary maps are actually really interesting, and they give insight to some of the game mechanics you may not know. Like, for instance, the mercenaries have rim lighting around them to make them stand out from the background. They also removed throwable grenades, as they were almost exclusively spammed at doorways or thrown all at once before imminent death.
Removing standard hand grenades made the game more fun almost immediately, especially for new players who were often confused as to why they die.
Meanwhile, in a parallel universe,
removing
random critical hits
made the game more fun almost immediately, especially for new players who were often confused as to why they die.
But most importantly, the commentary answers the question. See, due to a pesky thing called free will, game communities tend to gravitate towards small groups of maps, meaning other maps get left behind.
Multiplayer communities tend to focus on a small group of maps, playing them over again and again.
Some games solve this by removing the choice to pick a map altogether. TF2 wanted to fix this by making a popular map with more replayability by adding randomness and complexity and just making the whole map... Funnily enough, these are the attributes that would decrease the chances of this map being popular in the first place, which is rather self-defeating.
We wanted a map where you couldn't even predict something as basic as your starting point.
Okay, so knowing everything we know about why Hydro failed, let's try and fix it without bringing too many changes. Remove these 2 control points to make the map geometry symmetrical on 2 planes to decrease complexity. Put the rounds on an unrandomized, clockwise rotation. This will make the objective more coherent and predictable. At the end of the 4 rounds, one team will have more territory and win. If both teams have equal territory, then settle stalemates with a fight to the death. And finally, increase the time it takes to capture a control point to increase round times.
Is it just attack defend but with 1 point?
Yeah, that's what Hydro is. Seriously.
That fucking sucks.
Yeah, look at this. Look how quick we're gonna cap this. I can't see it. We won! What? What the fuck? Oh yeah, I found this glitch where if you click on a node and look away, suddenly it does a thing.
The sniper rifle was another tricky design problem.
Yes, this is also a developer commentary map, but hey, I can use this map to show you how the 2007 version of TF2 differs from the current day TF2 in terms of graphics. In this version, the Heavy's gun looks sexier. Demo's pills are actually loaded into the launcher and get ejected when he shoots, but it sort of just resets after each shot, so B for effort. Other notable things include NG not being able to pick up and relocate his buildings, Pyro not being able to air blast. Also, the pistol in this game is semi-automatic? It shoots slow if you fire as an automatic, but it shoots faster if you use it like a semi. I gotta be honest, I'm not quite sure what they were going for there. Another major graphics difference is found within an unassuming command called matpicmip. It goes from -1 to 4, getting exponentially worse as you go up in value. So if this is the difference between -1 and 4, Then I wonder what the difference would be with -1 and -10. Oh yes, in any build of the game before June 10th, 2010, you can go beyond the limit of -1 to -10.
That's quite big.
So, let's see these high-quality textures then. Are you ready? Are you? Fuck, it is so bad. You can barely tell. In fact, I had to use no-clip in order to get close enough to see the change. This billboard is the absolute best example I could find, and it's not even visible from the playable area. The only consistent improvement I found is on medium health packs, as it gets rid of the blurriness around the circle. Comparing the old with the new reveals that the frame rate has suffered through the year. What? Like, fuck, the frame rate has improved. Hang on a second. I wanted to get to the bottom of this. And funny enough, whilst exploring the map, I found the answer in Chris Green's developer commentary, as he explains.
As for the particle system itself, we have offloaded many of the system calculations to the graphics accelerator, which allows us to increase the number of particles on screen without reducing the frame rate.
See, back in 2007, GPUs were pretty shite. Now, that's fine for explosions, rocket trails, and tracers, but the particle system soon became overused in order to push more content. Nowadays, you may have a beefy 1060, but you'll still struggle to break 60 FPS whilst trying to render this guy. As for a solution? Well, Valve aren't going to delete unusuals, or port this game to Source 2, so yeah, we're kinda stuck with this problem. After spending approximately too much time playing on developer commentary maps, I found a funny quirk that I've decided to base a dramatic SFM on. And the story goes something like this. Scout likes trains. Dramatic SFM. Let's start again. As a kid, Scout always loved trains. He played with toy trains and had dreams about them. His curiosity was only stoked further when his father, Gabe Newell for some reason, became a train driver. Cue the inspirational music. Bring in the happy montage. But oh no, the montage turns for the worst as tragedy strikes, and his dad comes down with a hard case of ligma. Aren't I so funny? Whatever shall Scout do? He's very sad, you see. He thinks long and hard about where he should go from here. Honour his father's memory and pursue his passion of filling his father's shoes? Of course, Scout said. I'll melodramatically kill myself with the very thing I love. God, I'm so poetic. And so he sat on the track waiting for the train.
Here comes the pain train.
Played by train_enginecar.mdl, to sweep him away to sweet nothing. But then all of a sudden, Scout's dead father, still Gabe Newell, makes him invincible at the last second. And he is saved. Perhaps he will follow in his father's footsteps after all. Well, not really on account of him being stuck there forever. Yeah, apparently on developer commentary maps you're invincible. Not even a damn train can kill you. Hold up, wait just a second. I have just received information that there is a version of the TF2 beta practically identical to this that you can play online. The whole premise of this video is now pointless. Fuck.